Alright, hello guys, how's it going? In today's video, we're going to be breaking down the very tail end of this ongoing storm that's basically impacted everybody from West Coast to East Coast, and then we're going to talk about some upcoming storms that are going to be very similar, if not like almost exactly the same as this storm has gone. We have about two of those upcoming that we need to talk about. Anyways, before I get into this video, be sure to smash that like button, leave a comment down below, and subscribe for more weather-related content. For today's comment of the day, I want to know, do you think that we're going to permanently be moving into a spring-like pattern as we've seen these warm-ups move in? Do you think we're steadily taking steps up towards the spring weather, or do you think that we're going to see a return back to the winter-like weather for a period of time? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, and I'll be picking one of those for tomorrow's video. Let's get straight into this video, and first things first, we do have an area of storminess up here for the upper Midwest and some of the northern plains there. Obviously, that's not the biggest area of storminess as we have this huge cold front and low pressure system still impacting the eastern seaboard. There's that cold front we've been talking about for quite a while. There's it passes through the eastern seaboard. We had some severe thunderstorm warnings up here. I talked about days ago how we would potentially have some severe weather here along the southeastern United States on Friday, and sure enough, that actually panned out really well. I hope everybody's okay, though. It seems like it was mostly wind-driven and wind-related severe weather, so that's kind of good news. That's one of the least impactful types of severe weather you can deal with. I just hope that nobody lost power or had any damage take place. Now, there's a couple things to note. First off, these snow showers, you can see the flow is generally towards the southeast and kind of heading more eastward over time. So these are going to be impacting all of these regions over time. Possibly bringing a dusting in some of these heavier pockets. This one had some heavier pockets at times, so did this one where we see the bright whites and even blues showing up. That is definitely heavy snowfall there. So we're going to be watching for that. As we head towards the southeast, this cold front was really impactful as it headed through. We saw a lot of lightning down here on this southern extent down here. And we saw a lot of wind-related severe weather concerns throughout this region here. Even as far north as North Carolina, and then we saw some of that going on in Georgia and South Carolina as well. Way throughout North Carolina, actually, we saw a lot of that. And then what's interesting is as you head further north, we also saw some severe thunderstorm warnings come in for these regions for damaging wind with that cold front. So it extended well up the coast here, and it's just really interesting to see as this cold front came through, so much severe weather compared to what was expected for most sources. Now, we did see a bit of freezing rain here for the area up here in New York and as well as portions of New England. That's really changed over to mostly snow here, as you can see over time, especially for western New York. And we are seeing quite a bit of snowfall come down at this point, and even for Ohio down here in Pennsylvania also. And one more thing to note, I think there's a UFO over Canada here. I saw this earlier. Something's going on here. Let's zoom in a little bit further so we can see what's up here. Yeah, I definitely think a UFO or something is located there. Very large. You can probably see it from Boston if it's that large. So be on the lookout for that for sure. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to move on and we're going to take a look at the model guidance and see these two upcoming storms that could be just as bad as this one that just passed through the entire United States. Now, here we are taking a look at our modeled guidance. We're just going to break this down. We have our low pressure system located about there. As it's basically done this. This is where it's headed, and it's going to continue on that way. That's the track we've seen this storm take, which leaves mostly warm air over in this region until about a little while from now. As this trough rotates in, we're going to see this align more vertically, and then we're going to see a lot of cold air be able to make its way down for a brief period. So let's watch that play out. So we see the storm move out, that trough becomes much more vertically aligned there. You can see it's almost like straight up and down looking. Same with this ridge over here. Okay, so we're in kind of this pattern now again. This is what we saw a lot of in January, trough in the east, ridge in the west. So we get a little bit colder here as we reach into the weekend, Saturday, Sunday. Things start to warm up by Monday in the east here. We can see a trough starting to move in, ridge starting to move in for the east, trough starting to move in for the west. Some thunderstorm activity potentially here for the Gulf states, not related to a low pressure system or any sort of front, which is interesting. That's usually what you see in the summer or spring. But we do have some storminess being trended at here for Monday into Tuesday. We also see a big snowstorm out west. That is eventually going to basically do this, which looks familiar, right? Because that's what we saw our most recent storm do. Again, they are almost carbon copies. So you see this storm building in, trough about here, jet streams doing about this. So we'll see a cold front develop underneath it, and that's going to head eastward as this storm heads northward over top like this. A warm front's also going to develop in there. So what we will see happen is these areas underneath that have this warm air, this cold front here is going to be shoving its way eastward, and that's exactly the setup we just saw. So let's continue this on. You see that eastward progression of it? It's kind of lingering here, and then we have a warm front probably about there. So I'm expecting, Wednesday, Thursday timeframe to be very, very warm along the eastern seaboard here. That can be really expected. But that cold front isn't able to make as much progress as our most recent one did. Now, we are having snowfall for all these northern regions, and even some icy concerns as well, which is, again, very interesting. But probably some thunderstorms throughout this entire region as we see that bottom frontal boundary really move in. And from what I could see, Thursday is really the day we expect to be the warmest here. As that southeast ridge is still taking over. There's a low pressure system somewhere in here as another storm develops and tries to take that track. Again, cold front underneath, warm front over top, low pressure system about right here. That cold front is just going to keep getting shoved eastward as this warmer air is heading north, and that is going to lead towards a whole mess. We do see a lot of snowfall on the northern end here. This one, the third one here that we're taking a look at, is even more similar to the first storm, I would say. We do have snowfall here for very similar regions. Same with the ice in very similar regions. And same with the severe weather in similar regions here. As that cold front passes through, the low pressure system will be about here. As that cold front really progresses here into Friday morning. Again, very warm air for the southeast. By about Friday afternoon, those will be passing over the east coast, and cold air will be making its way in to the eastern United States once more. And after that point, we don't really see much action. We see a very flat jet stream in here, kind of like this. Probably a bit further north, though, so something like this. Not really too cold compared to normal or too warm compared to normal by this point for anywhere. We do have quite a bit of storminess up here for the northwest. This might progress into whatever our next storm is that will move into the United States over time, but it will probably be into March when that happens, which is the extended range at this point. So we don't have too much of an idea for after. Storm 1's happening now and ending, basically. Storm 2 is that middle one, and then Storm 3 is the one we just went over that's very similar to the first one. So we know Storm 1, 2, Storm 2, Storm 3, but after Storm 3, it's very uncertain. So let's see when the end of Storm 3 is. Yeah, so Storm 3 is happening Thursday, Friday, into Saturday. That's the 24th, 25th, 26th. But after that point, things become a lot more uncertain. So as we get past, not this weekend, but the next one, that's when we don't really, we can't see too much. So through the week, we kind of have an idea of what's expected. What's been interesting is every single week for about 2 weeks now, I've noticed this, is that we start the week and it's pretty cold, very cold actually, in the east here at least. And things progressively warm up as we reach about Thursday or Friday. This happened the past 2 weeks now. And then we get into like the 60s and 70s for most areas. And then we have a very strong cold front push through, and then we cool down in through the weekend and into Monday, and then it restarts a cycle where it's like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, all warming all the way until we reach Thursday, Friday, and then we warm up. And that's going to happen this upcoming week as well, just like it happened the past 2 weeks. That's how carbon copy this pattern's been. Not only are these low pressure systems taking a similar track, it's also causing the same effects at the surface, which is just crazy, guys. Anyway, for today's confidence tab, we are at a 4 out of 6 still. Obviously, I'm not changing that until these models get their act together or until we switch to severe weather or hurricanes mostly, which is way down the road, obviously. For today's comment of the day, I asked you guys, do you think these storms are really going to be exactly the same? And James Marr said, I believe next week we will see another event very similar to this one, and we might see 2 very similar to this one. For today's patron highlight today, I want to thank you all for supporting the channel, but especially our platinum patrons, Bill Crates, James Wade, Dovin Nagel, Larry the Pan, Mandy Birchfield, Patrick Strickland, Dave Scott, and Donna Carnes as well. I would also like to thank our diamond patrons, Bill Roberts, Marcus Connolly, Noah Harley, Michael Kittle, Asa Catbite, Charles Dennett, Bill Dallas, Gary's, and John Cleese also. I would also like to thank our channel members, Catbite, Stephen Fan, and Jeremy Cox as well. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Be sure to smash that like button, leave a comment down below, and subscribe for more weather-related content. I'll see you guys in the next video.